So I call this a challenge question, even though it's not that challenging. Once you get comfortable with it, it's not that bad, okay? It says a parabola has vertex 4, 2 and passes through the point 5, negative 6. It says write the standard form function of the parabola, okay? Well, if we know the vertex, which is a h and k, I automatically think vertex form, okay? So vertex form is y equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k, where our h goes here and our k goes there. And we need an a value, but we don't even have the parabola to determine a pattern, or they don't give us the a value. But what they do give us is a point. So before we even take into consideration the point, let's think about what we actually need to write this vertex form. We need three things. We need the a, we need the h, we need the k. Out of those three things, we already have two of them. We know that h is positive 4 and k is positive 2. Okay, so the 4 is going to go right here where the h is at, and the 2 is going to go right here where the k is at. Now, what else do they give us? If I had the a, I would just plug it in right here and that would be my answer, but I don't have the a. They don't give us the a. They give us a point, and in reality, a point is a coordinate. What's a coordinate? It's an ordered pair. What's an ordered pair? It's a x value and a y value. So you really have an x value of 5 and a y value of negative 6. So in math, whenever you're missing a certain value, like right here, we're missing the a, we want the a, but they give us x and y, we're going to plug in what they give us to find out what we need, right? So we're going to take that x value of 5 and plug it in right here. We're going to take the y value of negative 6 and plug it in right there. And we're going to have an equation that only has a missing a value, which means we could actually solve for a. So once again, let's begin. Instead of y, I'm going to write negative 6. Then I bring down the equal sign, and instead of a, I don't know a, so I'm going to keep it as a. I shouldn't have said that. Keep it as a. And then bring down, instead of x, we're going to plug in the 5 right into that x, so it's going to be a 5 right there. And we have minus h minus, and we know that the h value is 4. 4 goes right there. So 4 is the h value, close parentheses squared, plus k, plus the k value, which is 2. Again, the k value is 2, so there it is, 2. So as I said, we now have an equation that only has a missing value a. So we could solve for a by doing the math. You're going to simplify the equation first. Start with parentheses. 5 take away 4 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So you really have a times 1. That's 1a. 1a. You don't even need the 1 in front of it. You really just have a. But then you have the plus 2. Again, we did parentheses first. 5 take away 4 is 1. Exponents next. 1 squared is 1. And then multiplication after that, 1 times a is just a. And then bring down the plus 2. We still have the equals. We still have the minus 6. So let's solve for a. Subtract 2. Subtract 2. We're going to end up with negative 8 equals a. A equals negative 8. So we now have all three things that we need. A, h, and k. So let's write our equation in vertex form. Y equals, the a value is negative 8, parenthesis x minus h, h is 4, close parenthesis squared, plus k, k is 2. Are you with me? Now, if the question would have said, write any quadratic equation of a parabola that passes through the vertex and passes through that point, this would be it. But they specifically ask us to write it in standard form. This is vertex form. Why did I go with vertex form? Because I had the HK, it was pretty easy to find A, and we wrote it in vertex form, but now we need to change it to standard form. So standard form, standard form does not have parentheses, so we need to get rid of those parentheses. And you're going to begin by doing the x minus 4 times itself 2 times. So x minus 4 times x minus 4. You may need a calculator. X times x, x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. Negative 4 times x is another negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. Combine the middle terms, and you're going to have x squared minus 8x plus 16. Now keep in mind that this answer, this quadratic trinomial, is only the answer to this binomial squared. So I still need to multiply it by -8 out in the front. So you bring down -8, and you still have the plus 2 at the very end. Of course, you're going to multiply before adding. So we need to distribute. -8 times x squared is -8x squared. -8 times negative, that's positive 64 with an x. And then -8 times positive 16 is -128. And then you bring down the plus 2. And you combine those two. So you have -8x squared plus 64x minus 126. And you simply bring down that y equals, and you'll have your standard form quadratic trinomial equation. And that, if you were to graph it on Desmos, it will have the vertex at 4, 2, and it will pass through to 0.5, -16. And we already know it's opening down, and it's very narrow because it got vertically stretched by the a value of 8. So that means that the y-intercept is going to be way down there at the c value of -126. As a matter of fact, guys, I want to actually give you the visual of this by showing it to you on Desmos. So here's a picture of it on Desmos. It does have the vertex 4, 2. It does pass through the point 5, -6. So if we go to 5, which is right here, -6, it does pass through that point 5, -6. And if we were to think about the y-intercept, since it opened down and it got vertically stretched by 8, it's very narrow. Where's it going to cross the y-axis? I mean, we're already at -12 here, and it's not even close. So it's going to be way down there at the c value of -126.